There are just a couple things I would like to reiterate that was stated this morning from several different individuals, and that is that Alaska didn't adopt the Common Core.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender.
And you would say they're pretty universal, right? That you can interchange Common Core with Alaska standards. At a testimony back on June 3rd, 2013, you made an estimate when Representative Dan Sadler asked you if it would be possible to obtain a statistically relevant comparison between Alaska performance and other states. Commissioner Hanley, you answered by saying that your department would examine the standards, but you estimated that the state's new standards and the Common Core standards were very close, probably 95% similar.
And since then, we've done a thorough vetting and a thorough review of that, as I said I would. Alaska has 320 individual English language art standards. 133 of those, or about 42% of them, are different than the Common Core. In math, 113, 49% of them are different than the Common Core, and Alaska has added 26 standards that aren't in the Common Core.
Just, it's so easy that you hear things and you repeat them. I repeat them, and just because I've heard them and I assume it's true. And I've said exactly what Terrence Moore said at the beginning. He said that the Alaska standards are 95% identical to Common Core. And you, if I understand what you've just said, you have said that in math, they're only 51% identical. Is that true? Can we put that to bed? Can we say that 95% identical is a fallacy?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So were these standards based on the Common Core, and what percentage of our Alaska academic standards are the Common Core standards?
Through the chair, Representative Reinbold, the drafters, the people, the Alaskans that worked on us, over 200 Alaskans that worked on our standards, referenced heavily the Common Core in their development. We changed over 40%. We made changes to over 40% of both the ELA standards and the math standards, which means that over 50% are the same as the Common Core. We have stated in the past that our standards are substantially similar to the Common Core, because when you look at those changes that were made, and we actually added an additional 26 standards to math, those changes that were made, oftentimes they didn't substantially change the outcome. They changed the inputs. And so I don't have examples in front of me right now, but we did change them, but what was expected of a student was still similar. So it's appropriate to say that our outcomes, our expectations are substantially similar to the Common Core, even though we made changes to over 40% of both ELA and math.
I know I've seen letters from you to the Department of Education that state that they're 95% or track nearly identically. And I've also looked at the number of people were involved as well. And I've also compared Alaska standards to the Common Core standards, and the changes were insignificant in many cases, like you were allowed to change from ask to elicit. It's very minor, meaning almost identical, the same thing. Thank you. And I guess my point is, it's, if there were 200 people or so, to me it's highly unlikely that they would come up with a document almost identical to the Common Core nationalized standards, and that's something for another debate for another day.
I'm the great pretender, just like